Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity and welcome to a little declutter video. We are going to be decluttering these lip liners, eyeliners, chubby pencils, and potentially my single shadows. We'll see if we get through all that. I recently went and reorganized my collection, added a couple of makeup organizers, and I got this little makeup stack right here. If you're curious, it is the Intern Design of 5-drawer tower, and I have these three and then also a little drawer that I'm going to be sticking lip balms and like I have my Briva lip plumper and stuff like that in, and then the very bottom drawer is single shadows. So if you have time, I'd like to declutter that, and then this entire tower would be decluttered, but we're going to focus on this for right now. I do want to say real quick that this is going to be my only declutter where I'm actually specifically trying to cut down a lot on these categories, because I feel like these categories I have too much of and I don't use them often enough, so I do want to cut down and curate them. So this is going to be my only declutter. I do want to go through the rest of my makeup collection, like all the different categories, but I'm not going to be calling it a declutter because for the most part I'm pretty happy with how much I have. I feel like there might be one or two things out of each category that I want to get rid of, but it's not enough for me to call a declutter. Like I feel like if I called it a declutter and then out of like 50 products I got rid of like 3 or 4, I don't know, I just feel like that's a little lame and doesn't really stay true to the declutter. I am not looking to cut down substantially on my makeup collection. So I am going to be going through all the different categories in the coming weeks, but I'm going to call it a makeup collection, just kind of like a tour. And then as we go along and go through everything, I can be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to get rid of this. Oh, you know, I'm going to get rid of that. And I can declutter as I go. So anyway, let's dive into these. We're going to start with eyeliners, then we'll go to lip liners and chubby sticks. And my daughter's going to be coming over here and helping me swatch them all because she's awake while Gideon is taking his first nap of the day. Okay, so I'm just going to get started because she's still in the middle of getting dressed. She says she'll be over here in a minute, but we can at least divvy this up, and I kind of want to separate it by color. Okay, so here's what we got. We got black, brown, whites and champagnes, purples, we got red, green, blue, and then down here are these two. So we're going to go over these two first. Let's see if it, ooh, autofocus, look at that. Okay, so these are the first two that we're going to swatch, and this is a green and a blue. I'm pretty sure I'm going to declutter both of them, but we'll go ahead and have Olivia swatch it. Here, do the blue on your arm first.
It's over here.
Okay, let's see if we, okay, go ahead. Good job. Now can you do this one? Okay, so there's those two sides. Let's go ahead and show them the other side too. So there's this side. Can you do that white side? Do it down here. Okay, and then do this, oh, this white side. Okay, so as you can see, one side is like really dark. Let's see if we can get it in focus more. There we go. One side's, you know, the blue or the green, and then the other one is like an iridescent shift, and I don't use them. I don't think that they work that well, especially if you're wanting to put them on your eyes. I noticed I had to rub at them really hard, so I'm just going to be decluttering these two. Okay, next up, I am going to be keeping this. This is my only really good deep red. Do you want to swatch this one too? Yeah. How about you swatch it on Mommy's arm? There you go. Now you can do it on you. Go ahead. It's just like a really nice deep red, and I wanted that for when I do, you know, red eye looks, and I wanted a red lower lash line. This is the only one I have. I bought it recently, so definitely keeping this. All right, so we're going to do the greens next. Do it up here. There you go. All right, there's one green. I'll hold it for you. Up here. There's, ooh, that's a pretty pigmented green. Smashboxes are always very pigmented. And then we got another green. Okay, and this one's much more bright. Let me swatch real quick with this one, Olivia, and then you can swatch them on your hand. Okay, so here they are a little bit closer. So the ColourPop one is right here. It's definitely the most vibrant, and I will hang on to it, but I definitely noticed and can feel that it's drying out a lot. So this is a Flower Beauty one, and I just realized that I also have one from NYX that is green, so I'm going to swatch those side by side. I'm going to swatch the NYX, or the Flower Beauty one. They're both very pigmented, but they're so close. Let me think. You know what? I probably don't need to, but I'm going to keep both because they're different types of green, and if I'm doing a look, I want it to be really precise, and these two are very new to my collection. Can I stay in focus? I can't do this thing. I'm going to keep them both, and then this one is the Smashbox one, also going to keep because it's such a different, it's more of like that blue-green type. Okay, so we didn't get rid of any green, but let's move on to the purples. Olivia has been dying to try this one. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so this one is a purple one from Rimmel. I definitely know I've had it for a while. Feels, let me try it one more time. Feels like it's getting a little dry. Do it right beside it so we can see. Good job. That one is from Smashbox. Smashbox's Always On gel liners are so pigmented and creamy. And then that is from Lancome's. Okay, so this is what we got. Lancome, Smashbox, and Rimmel. I'm gonna get rid of the Rimmel because it has like shimmer in it, and that's just not my preference. Oh no, the Rimmel one is this one. Okay, so this is the Rimmel one. This top one is the Lancome one. I forgot, she swatched on the other side. And then this one's the Smashbox. Okay, a little bit bigger swatches. Once again, I'm gonna keep them all because I feel like they're different shades of purple. I am not doing well in this decluttering. Well, let's go ahead and do the black because I feel like that I should get it down to just like 2. Okay, so Olivia's taken off the purples from her arm. I'm just gonna swatch these real quick. The first one is this Rimmel Exaggerate. Waterproof, nice and smooth. Then I have this one, I believe I got in a BoxyCharm, it's the Vintage Cosmetics. I thought I decluttered this a long time ago. Then of course I have my Smashbox. So pigmented and creamy. And then I have this cargo one I recently bought. All different shades of black. Okay, so I'm definitely getting rid of the Vintage Cosmetics because I just don't need that. I don't think it's very pigmented and it definitely doesn't stay. Keeping the Smashbox because that's my favorite, which is that one. And then, decisions, which should I keep? Okay, so I'm going to keep the Cargo since it's new, and I feel like when you sharpen pencils down, they last for a lot longer than the kind that twist up. I just feel like it dries out quicker. And then I'll pass, or I'll declutter the Rimmel one. Okay, so now we are going on to the white and the champagne shades. So you ready to swatch, Liv?
Yes.
So this is the white one from Smashbox. Then here is a champagne one from Pixie. Then there is a champagne one from Smashbox. And then last up is an eye brightening one from, oops, can I be in frame? From Pixie. Can you do that one again? Because it's kind of hard to see. All right, thank you. So we got Pixie, Smashbox, Smashbox, and Pixie. I hope I'm not too washed out. This one's a hard one. I'm going to keep the white Smashbox because I think it's good to have a white. I'm also going to keep the new because I think I like to have like at least one of everything. So I'm going to keep that. And then for the Smashbox and Pixie, I'm going to keep the Smashbox and declutter the Pixie because I feel like the Pixie one definitely felt like it was drying out. Okay, and next up we have the browns. Let me just wipe off these swatches. There are a lot of browns. Go ahead, do that one first. This is from Milk Cosmetics. This one's from Flower Beauty, right next to it, yeah, or right there. This one's from Pixie. Ooh, that's more of like a reddish brown. Okay, then the rest are from Smashbox. There we go, nice chocolate. And then there's that one. I suppose I should be telling you guys the names, of course I think about it now. This is Brood, Shark, and Moody. I love that Brood is such an intense brown, and like brown coffee is what I'm thinking of. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna get rid of the Melt one because I just felt like it's got a lot of shimmer to it. It's very light. It doesn't go into my waterline very well. And that's where I like to use like gel liners though. Or gel pen liners, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to get rid of that. I just don't foresee myself using it. And I'll definitely be on the hunt for more of a matte orange shade to add to my collection. That's a nice gel consistency. This one is the Flower Beauty one. Again, it has shimmer and I just don't foresee myself using it, especially when I have such nicer browns to use. So I'm going to declutter that. This one is the Pixie one, which I guess I should tell you guys. So this is Rusk Bronzed Out. This shade is called Matte Mulberry, but I just don't foresee myself using it, especially since I have the NYX one, the NYX red one I enjoy using. I'll definitely keep this one, what I say, Brood from Smashbox. I really do like that. I'm going to get rid of this shade. I think it's called Shark. It's just a kind of a grayish type of shade. I just don't ever foresee myself going that type of gray route, and honestly, neither do I see myself using Moody. I think these two of the grayish colors, but I feel like I should keep one. I'm going to keep this one since it is the lighter and more different than the light brown or the black. So I'll keep Moody and declutter Shark. So for the brown category, I'm keeping these two, Brood and Shark, and I'm getting rid of the rest. All right, moving on to the blues. We have two from Smashbox, one from ColourPop, and one from Rimmel. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys right now. I think you can see is completely dried out. Like I tried to use it the other day because I was doing a really blue look, and I would roll it up a little bit, try to swatch it, and it would just break off. So this is completely used up, done. It's going in the garbage. So decluttering.
Why?
It's all used up. It's all gone. So let's get to swatching these three. Can you swatch this one? Okay, so this is Rimmel and Turquoise. Swatch it. No, let's swatch it right there. There we go. Oh, good job. Good swatch. You can put it down right here. Turquoise, and then we have Smashbox's Private. Okay, and then last up we have Smashbox's Bouncer. Ooh, good job. Got a little fancy with that swatch. So the Rimmel is definitely drying out, and I just don't want to bother with that in my waterline, and also it has a lot of shimmer to it. Not my preference, as I've said many times. I'm definitely going to keep this one. I think this was called a Bouncer. Yep. I'm just going to go ahead and declutter Private. I feel like if I want to shade that dark, I'm just going to use black. So surprising myself, I am going to declutter Private. Okay, so I ended up decluttering 12 and keeping 16. Let's move on to lip liners. Okay, so lip liners, I really don't have much, so this should not take too long. First up, this transparent liner I'm going to keep, and I'm not going to swatch because it's clear, so no point in that. But I am going to keep because I think this is very handy to have. Okay, and I just realized this BH Cosmetics lip liner in Muse is broken, so call me lazy, but I'm just going to declutter it so I don't have to sharpen it and swatch it. And I mean, honestly, it's a shade. I have a couple others like that that I know I'm going to keep, so I'm going to declutter this. First up, we have Bite Beauty in 020, right here on my hand first, and then yours. Good job. Okay. We have Mia and Macy and Heather. Good job. Then we have this Lorax line. Oh, no. Lorax liner in CEO. The Jante Blue in Brown Sugar. Okay. And then BH Cosmetics Waterproof Lip Liner in Spice. Okay, thank you. Now you can swatch them on your hand. Okay, so definitely keeping the Bite Beauty. I really like their lip liners, and that's a good nude. The Mia and Macy and Heather I'm going to declutter just because it's pretty close to other shades and I don't need it. I am going to keep the CEO and Heather because it's just a favorite of mine. The Jante Blue I'm going to declutter as well because it's very rough when she was swatching it on me, and I just don't want to be that rough on my lips. And I'll keep the BH Cosmetics in Spiced. So getting rid of 2. Keeping 3. Okay, so next we're going to go through my Chubby pencils. These are the ones that are just a little skinnier than the traditional lipstick twos, but they're technically, all of them are pretty much still lipsticks. So yeah, let's go through these. I have the 4 from ColourPop. Let's see if they still swatch and are even any good. This is in Frida. Here you go, honey. This is in Cami. I'm so surprised that these are swatching because the Frida one I think is like 4 years old, and then these are at least 2. This one is Poppin'. Oof, that's an intense matte. And then last up is Love Life. Man, these are the X Matte, I think they're called. They're just like so dry, but they're still like creamy. It's not like a bad dry because they went on really nicely. Okay, so for these, I think I'm going to keep them, and I want to bring them into my rotation and wear them just to see if I, want to keep them in that respect. But just from looking at them and seeing how they feel and that they're still good, I'm going to keep all these 3, but I am going to get rid of Frida just because it is extremely old and I really don't want to put that on my lips. But these are all maybe 2 years, maybe. They might even be less than that. But anyway, getting rid of 1, keeping 3. I got 2 from Revlon. It's their matte balm version. This first one is Passionate. And then the next is Sultry. I feel like it's washing out a little bit there. That's a more accurate representation of the color. I'm going to get rid of Passionate and keep Sultry. All right, next I have 2 suede lips from Rodial. I have the Big Apple and Rose Ave. Ooh, that's a pretty nude. I'm going to get rid of Big Apple. I don't know, it's just kind of like a standard... I don't know, that's pretty cute, but I'm going to get rid of that one and keep Rose Ave. Then I have 2 from Lorac Cosmetics. This is like a special holiday one from several years ago. This first one is Mauve. And this next one is in Mulberry. That is a pretty shade, but I'm going to get rid of both of these. Oh, go clean your hand off. I'm going to get rid of both of these because this one I want to say is from 2 or 3 years ago, and this I had like 2 years before that. So they're pretty old, so I'm going to get rid of them. I do love this formula though, but I mean none of the colors stand out that much to me that I want to put them on my lips knowing they're so old, so it's time to pass them on. Next I have a Glo Minerals Suede Matte Crayon. I think they're just called Glow Skin Beauty right now. And this isn't, no, don't open them all. And this is in Demure. That is a really pretty shade, definitely up my alley. I'm keeping. I also have this color Blur from Maybelline. I would never use the blurring aspect of it, but I remember liking it for the just how pigmented it is. Oh, I forgot this one screws from the bottom. Such an interesting way to do it because I remember it threw everyone off. But anyway, this is in the color My Magenta. Oh yes, keeping that. It's coming off a lot brighter. It's more of a deeper color. Yeah, this is totally throwing it off. I apologize that it doesn't look very true to color, but definitely a beautiful color. This next one is a Max Prep and Prime that I got probably a year and a half to 2 years ago. It still swatches like it's smooth and all that, so I'm gonna keep it. I really need to use it and determine if it actually makes a difference, so like worth repurchasing or even worth keeping, but I haven't done that yet, so I'm gonna hang on to it. And then the last two that I have is from Makeup Geek. It is their iconic lipsticks. This one is Lively. Oof, so creamy. And then this one is Candid. Ooh, because I ran out of room over here. I really like those, both of those colors, so I'm gonna keep them. They are newer to my collection. Okay, and looking back, I decluttered 5 and kept 10. Didn't do as good as I thought I would, but you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter Candid. Candid was that more of like a taupey shade. It's like a real nude taupey. I feel like this one from Rodial will do that for me. So decluttering 6, keeping 9. All right, so let's just go ahead and do this. Gideon is still sleeping. Olivia's running around playing, but let's go ahead and declutter these really quick. This shouldn't take too much time because I kind of already have my thoughts on most of these, but I just want to go over it with you guys and declutter them. But first up, let's talk about the L'Oreal Paris Infallible eyeshadows. I don't think I'm going to get rid of any of them. Let me just flip them over so I can see and confirm. Yeah, so I'm definitely keeping these colored ones. And then you know what? Let me see. These two, all these three look pretty similar. Bronze Taupe, Amber Rush, and Blinged and Brilliant. I'm going to keep Blinged and Brilliant, and then I'm going to get rid of Bronzed and Taupe, and then I'm going to keep Amber Rush because I feel like that's a classic. I'm not ready to get rid of these. I have not used them, I think, at all in the past year, but I definitely want to make a point this year to reach for them and just kind of experiment with them before I decide if I do want to get rid of them. I have 3 from Butter London's Glazen Lip Gloss that I absolutely love. I'm going to keep Oil Slick because it is a really unique color. I'm going to get rid of this Mermaid shade just because it's more of an iridescent shift on your lid, and it's just not my thing. I don't foresee myself using it often. And I'm going to keep this Ultraviolet because it's a really beautiful purple. I totally forgot. I can bring it closer and it should autofocus. But anyway, this is Urban Decay's Midnight Cowboy. I got a couple years ago for like the birthday thing, and I just never use it. I never think to use it, so I'm going to declutter this. This is a Bobbi Brown eyeshadow in Silver Moon. I got in like a box with a bunch of other things to try. I think it is really, really pretty. Like very iridescent and flaky and glittery and all that beautiful things, but I just never think to reach for it, and I don't know. I feel like the only reason I'm keeping it is because it's Bobbi Brown, so I'm just going to declutter it. This is relatively new to my collection. It's from YBF. It's a Liquid Star Shadow in the shade Stellar Sienna, and I'm going to keep it. Oh, I missed a L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow over here. It was underneath my pants. This is Primped in Precious. It's kind of like a silver blue, and this is like a blue blue. I'm going to keep them both. And last up, I have these two from Osmosis Color. They're watercolor. They're such a unique formula. This is in Opal and this is in Topaz. They are so interesting. Like, you look at them and you're just kind of like, what is that? Can I open them? There we go. You just kind of look at them and you're like, wait, that's just a bunch of like chunky balls. How is that going to be remotely pretty? But like, you touch just a little bit, maybe a little bit more. You touch just a little bit in there and like, you see how they're all loose, but watch this. Let me do this without dumping them on my carpet. You swatch it and it's like once they mesh together, let me put the cover on because I'm terrified of actually spilling this. But once they mesh together, they give such a beautiful, shimmery, intense metallic finish. They're beautiful, gorgeous. I've talked about them in the past, and I have a review up for them. If you're curious, I can try to remember to link that down below. Let me see. I feel like I never think to use the Opal one, just because I'm typically so into that bronze color when I think to reach for these. I feel like these nails are prohibiting me from swatching these well. Oh shoot, this is, that was my dirty finger. Hang on, let me try this again. I'm a mess. I am a mess. Okay, let's try this again. Ooh, so bright. Let me rub that in before it falls everywhere. Ooh, that's really pretty. Okay, I want to keep them both, and this is another one I really want to try and remember to reach for and use again. I'll be curious to see if I do like them, because like I was just saying with my nails, I don't really want to use my fingers to apply them, and I remember this is like 2 or 3 years ago, 3 years ago I guess, it was right before my daughter was born. That's how I would apply them. I would just use my nails. I had really short nails, I never had press-ons, that kind of thing. So I'll be curious to try them again and see if I can figure out a different way to apply them that doesn't require using my fingers, but they're really pretty. Alright, so here is where we are at. I'm really happy with everything, and I'm super happy I was able to go through and declutter everything. This was especially something that I just knew without even thinking which ones I wanted to declutter and which ones I wanted to keep. So yeah, this is everything that we're keeping. And then this is everything that I am decluttering. Super happy about that. And with that said, I hear Gideon waking up, so perfect timing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this. And as I said, look out in the coming weeks for makeup collection videos that I'm going to be posting. Again, they're not going to really be focused on decluttering, but I will declutter as I go along, but I'm just going to title them more like makeup collection / mini declutter or something like that. But we'll go through my whole collection and I'll show you what I do have this year, and we'll do a little declutter as we go, and it'll still be fun. So look out for those in the future. But yeah, with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.